So this is the news review from the 19th of October 1939 and there's a report here about what is apparently the first air raid of the Second World War, the first German air raid on Britain of the Second World War, when German bombers have bombed 2 naval bases in Scotland and they've attempted to bomb the Forth Bridge. So this is what it says. It says, presumably in return for the Kiel Canal raid, when RAF bombers dealt out death and destruction on the Nazi naval base. German raiders paid 2 visits to British naval bases in Scotland this week. The trips were a failure. On the first, 12 grey monoplanes arrived. 7 were shot down, the rest bolted. Bomb splinters caused the only tragedy. 15 Navy men killed, 12 others injured. On the second, 4 Nazi machines failed to sink HMS Iron Duke. The first bombs on Britain since the war began were dropped at about 2:30 on Monday afternoon. The raiders swooped down towards the ships lying in the sunlit waters of the Firth of Forth. Anti-aircraft batteries lining the river blazed furiously at them as they roared through the air with throttles full open, unloading their deadly cargoes on the northern banks, then soared and vanished. After 10 minutes they returned. One objective was the mighty Forth Bridge, the vital link between North and South Scotland. Amid a hail of shells, the bombers power dived, trying to smash the graceful 450 feet high steel structure. Great fountains of water cascaded, but the bridge was unharmed. 2 Nazi warplanes were intercepted off May Island and chased off. Another was engaged over Dalkeith and shot down in flames. 15 minutes later, a second raider crashed into the sea off Crail. Others were destroyed in the pursuit which followed. Bitterly declared the rescued pilot of one machine, "Your fighters are so fast, we had no chance to escape." Refusing to take cover, thousands of excited Scots watched the display, but others wanted to know why no air raid sirens had warned them. So if you're British, and if you're reading this in 1939, then you are probably really relieved, aren't you, to know that the German fighters are so rubbish and the British RAF are so fantastic. This is apparently a retaliation raid for the Kiel Canal attack when RAF bombers dealt out death and destruction. But this raid has been an absolute failure, and the German fighter pilot that was rescued said, "Your fighters are so fast we had no chance of escape." I mean, how fair is that, is the question, or is this just wartime propaganda? Then it goes on to explain fighting tactics. It says 3 main methods of bombing have been taught to RAF pilots now in France, and also to the young Germans who man Hitler's air fleets. Safest but most difficult is altitude bombing, flying at between 5,000 and 30,000 feet above the target. The aircraft approach in V formation. The leader sights the target and drops his bombs, and the other machines follow suit in the hope that one will hit. Far more dangerous is dive bombing. The plane wings over, swoops directly on the target in a 400 mile/hour speed dive, and pulls out about 700 yards overhead, and just before the pull-out, the bomb is released. Third method is hedge hopping, the most dangerous of all the bombing tactics. Machines keep close to the ground, skimming over the treetops, the hedges and the buildings. Anti-aircraft guns are powerless against them, but if Lewis guns can be trained on the approaching machines, they are finished. But this method is impossible over London or other British cities where balloon barrages keep enemy planes high up in the sky. Here they can be attacked by the fighters. Another method is for the machines to break formation and attack from different directions, giving the gunner little opportunity of defending himself. While one fighter swoops up from below, others cross and recross above from port to starboard and vice versa. Whenever possible, attackers try to get the sun behind them so that the eyes of the enemy are dazzled. So the news review clearly thinks then that its readers are interested in quite a detailed description as to how bombs get dropped, which is interesting. I mean, I'm kind of feeling that on the one hand, if I had a 20-year-old son who was a fighter pilot, I might be freaked out by this. But you get the feeling, though, that maybe the public at large were not feeling like that. Maybe they were actually quite excited and interested and intrigued about what was going on. So thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed that, and if you did, please like and subscribe, and there'll be lots more of these to come. Thank you.